So part of the ways that I effectively patrol my area is I like to get engaged with the citizens, the business owners, especially at the motels, the hotels in my area. Obviously, they see a lot of turnover, and oftentimes right now, because of the influx of EDD money, EDD fraud, a lot of people are able to rent motel rooms and stay in hotels, and so it's kind of an avenue now to where we're kind of seeing these hotels being exploited as places where they can commit their crimes. So what I like to do is I go to the different motels in my area and I talk to the hotel owners, and I kind of, what are they seeing, what are they hearing, and I want them to feel comfortable calling us, even if it's on a non-emergent basis. But just that kind of information, that back and forth, again, it kind of helps me do my job when I'm coming out from being off and kind of getting my head back in the game quicker. And I think it's kind of nice also to have buy-in from the community. There's a level of service that they expect by having a business in the city of Glendale, and it's nice to be able to reciprocate that. I mean, this is a challenging part of their job. They get stuck with packaging up these people's belongings after they've been arrested. Oh yeah, un momento. Oh, see. It's obviously this was a pipe, a bong. This is the bong water that they were using to smoke out of. You have a room that was rented by two criminals, who are basically using this as their lab to commit identity theft, EDD fraud. They also were using narcotics. And what happened was they got arrested in the city on another charge, and the police officers were able to figure out that they were staying back here at this hotel, and the officers came back here and they recovered as much as property as they could. And while the house cleaners were going through everything, they found some computers. They found a water bong. So I suspect these laptops don't belong to the criminals, and they probably contain a fair amount of other people's personal identifying information. So, I want these in the hands of the investigator so he can determine whether or not the people who are arrested should get them back or not. And again, this just kind of speaks to how difficult it is to work in this environment. These housekeepers, they have families. They're coming to work. But they have to come work in these environments where they're subjected to with narcotics, criminal activity. So my hat's off to them, because it's a tough job, and especially doing it in this COVID-19 environment. The people that run these hotels, they obviously appreciate the business. They want the business, and we want them to have the business. But we also want to make sure that the other guests who are being responsible and obeying the laws aren't inflicted by these people who want to use the hotel rooms to run their illegal operations. So part of our job is patrolling our area, is to be aware of what's going on. And driving by, I noticed that there was this fresh gang graffiti on the wall. This gang here, Tunerville, it's a gang that's been around since about the early to mid 1950s, and they're still in existence today in South Glendale and Northeast Los Angeles. And as you can see, they spelled out a TV with the purple letters, and then they put Tunerville inside the big block letters. And the 13 signifies that they're aligned with the Mexican Mafia. 13 being the 13th letter of the alphabet for the letter M, which stands for the Mexican Mafia. Now, getting out and investigating this graffiti, we got a little lucky, because it looks like whoever committed this graffiti left the cans here. So what we'll do is we'll collect the cans, we'll have them printed, and this will be some good gang intel as to who's committing this graffiti in this area. We have our own DNA lab, and that allows us to turn around DNA evidence much faster than other labs in our area traditionally could. So with that in mind, when we collect this type of evidence, it's very important that you don't contaminate it. Wearing a mask is always advisable, because your spit particles don't fall over the cans. I'm also going to use a new rubber glove that is uncontaminated, and I'm going to place the spray can in this paper bag, and then I'm going to use a new rubber glove for the second can. That way I'm not contaminating. And when I write my police report, I document it just so in court I don't give the defense attorneys any ammunition. So I think for a lot of people who start this job, once they get going into it, they realize that the schedules can be quite fluid and change regularly depending on what unit you're working, what kind of operations you're working. So that's something you got to be mentally prepared for when you start this job. Initially, you'll probably be on this set schedule with your training officer, and you'll probably get placed on shift so they can monitor you. But once you get off probation and you start moving around the department, your shift hours can vary wildly. We need to finish the job, so that may be working sometimes more than 18 hours if need be, but at the end of the day we need to accomplish our mission.